Welcome everyone to the first play of The Incredible Adventures of Van Helsing 2 from Neocore Games. This is the sequel to last year's Incredible Adventures of Van Helsing. This time around, you don't have to wait for DLC. You're able to select from 3 different characters: the Hunter, the Thermarage, and the Arcane Mechanic. I'm gonna go with the Hunter. It's a pretty standard Van Helsing style character. In the first game, I went with the Mage class, which I thoroughly enjoyed after picking up the game on a Steam sale last summer. So I was really looking forward to this release. The game was initially delayed a few months due to the release of the Reaper of Souls expansion for Diablo 3, so they wanted to put some final touches on the game and found a new spot here at the end of May for the release of this game. It is $14.99 if you're looking to get into it. It has a single and a multiplayer. Typical options for this type of game: hardcore, a lot of difficulties. Oh, I like this, showing the different characters. Let's just go with normal for now. Abraham, we're gonna have to go with our classic character, Yevon. Oh, that cow was really close. As you can see, Lady Katarina, the ghost companion, will follow us as well. Once again, she was from the first game.
My name is Van Helsing, and I'm a monster hunter. You could call it a twist of fate, that I came to Borgovia to help the monsters who once ruled this land. Although it took a while to reach my destination, at least the detour gave me an opportunity to explore the wilderness. At times, I was really grateful that I had my companion, Lady Katarina, at my side. I wouldn't want her to hear that, though. For a ghost, she can be remarkably vain and murderous. Borgovia is a fascinating land, at least from a hunter's perspective. Also, this is the only place where the ink, the dark material of creation, leaks through the cracks of the world. A long time ago, my father defeated Borgovia's immortal vampire lords and entrusted the land to a group of genius scientists. During our travels, we slowly began to suspect that it must have been a mistake. When we entered the dark city of Borgova, it became evident that the new age of enlightenment had only brought chaos and mayhem. I did what I had to do. I found my father's underground lair and gathered the members of the resistance, the rebellious mortals and immortals, fighting together. And how we fought. It was glorious. We battled impossible creatures. We repelled tides of inhuman invaders. And I wouldn't rest until I defeated the last mad scientist, Professor Fulmigati. He even had a proper doomsday automaton. Honestly, it was a hunter's dream come true. But as it turns out, winning the grand battle sometimes opens up a brand new adventure.
So that was a good summary of the first game if you haven't gotten a chance to play it already. General Hawker has returned. Commander promises peace in chaos. Van Helsing, hero or villain? Sounds like a plot to a Spider-Man cartoon. One thing that I have always enjoyed of this game is the steampunk visual style and world that the game is set in. Definitely keeps it apart from the Diablo fantasy style. While similar, they are very different at the same time.
You have just defeated your first villain. You have so many things ahead of you.
I'm not dying. I'm just stuck.
As well as the humor in this game, the bickering between the two characters.
Stay back!
Move aside.
I'm warning you.
You're powerless this for the moment. Please move aside.
Well, that was fun, Katerina. What's going on? Who is this? Is it a man?
What is a man?
He just appeared out of nowhere.
Castlevania? Anyone?
And humbly gave my
Please?
assistance to Van Helsing, the great liberator of Borgova.
Do I know you?
Hurry up. This structure may collapse at any moment.
How rude. What kind of savior does that?
That's the least of our concerns. He's right. The building is crumbling. We must leave.
New
You've
quest.
seen my equipment around here.
Get the hell
Some of
out.
our things are scattered on the other side of the hall.
So in standard action RPG games, similar to the Diablo, point and click with the mouse. You can hold the right click button, or the right button on the mouse, and just drag yourself around using the mouse cursor. G to pick up all nearby items. Oh. I like that. Q to use health potions, okay. So that is one thing that Diablo still hasn't solved. Well, is picking up items that you have to click every single one. I do like that loot all option right there. Okay, don't need you.
I feel much better now.
And finally, you look the part.
It's not the equipment that makes the hunter. You know that, right?
But it
Zoom
can't
in and
hurt
out.
when you're
Not really
facing down a
smooth,
hole.
kind of. Might be my mouse. Middle button. Hold the left click to use your basic attacks, standard, strike, and strike. Right now I only have the one skill. I can also use her active skills at the same time. So while 1 will activate a skill to heal both of us, 2 summons copies of her, and all 3 of them will be able to attack. So let's see that in action. Which turns into these serpent-style creatures. Oh, this doesn't look good. Up top, you'll see the current target as well as what type of character they are. The big guy was undead, but these little things were beasts, and it also gives you what their status is. These guys are extra fast. There are all different things such as electric, arcane powered, fire, teleporter, wall builders. All simple things, all the things that you've seen in Diablo if you've played those games before.
First, I want to know who you are.
And perhaps you could explain why you are so helpful.
She's still in her
I always
serpent
find
form.
that
That's awesome.
suspicious in a masked creature.
The mask hides deformations and the scars, the reminders of years of captivity in a lab.
You were a test subject?
Fulmigadi's favorite.
Wonder if he'll turn out to be a
Once a powerful
main villain in the
now
game.
only a husk of my former self. Until your heroic deeds brought chaos to the prison. And so I escaped.
You're doing this out of gratitude?
And revenge. Though the professor is dead, his heritage and his allies still remain. This tortured soul wants them to suffer.
So you're proposing...
Make them
I must take
suffer.
my leave. We'll talk more later.
Ha! He did it.
I'm sure he'll return.
Oh, that's a nice vertical style to these games. Choppers. Definitely a better start than the original game, which was kind of slow in typical fashion. This one's kind of picks up right where you left off. elevator. Anything else to click on? Nope.
Mindless mechanical fiends. I've had enough of you.
Rage bar. This yellow substance is your rage resources. It is used to enhance your attacks. Press spacebar to use rage. Power up. Each time you use rage, your next attack will have an added effect, so like slow, stun, extra damage. Okay, so I have stunning attack. So let's rage. Wow, that's more. They're throwing more at you than I thought they would have at the beginning of the game. I believe like they had in the first game, you can turn on auto rage, so the computer, once you get different strikes, will choose which ones to use, and you don't have to worry about that. There are many options like that in these games if you want. Scroll of Resurrection. Increase health regen for 20 seconds. Oh, right, Restoration, excuse me.
Is it me? Or has our secret lair changed quite a bit?
Look, humans. They must have used the ink gate too. Now they're trapped here like us. Good. I'm hungry.
Hey, you're not the only one that's hungry. Is there a Burger King around here? These guys are, you see their names are in yellow, which means they're tougher enemies. There'll be all sorts of different colors. Usually it's blue, purple, orange, I believe. It's been a while.
Pardon for bringing bad news, but there could be.
There are standard enemies, elites, boss
This
types.
place has a powerful device, a marvel of weird science. It binds this patch of the ink into a loop that won't let anyone escape.
You seem to be able to come and go as you please.
I have a particularly strong connection to the ink. The one thing my captors weren't able to take away.
Then get us out. Take us with you.
That's beyond this one's powers. But a temporary portal could take you close to the device. Once you defeat its guardians, we can disable it.
Why should I trust you?
Trust is overrated. You can take that on trust. The portal will remain active until you leave this area.
I don't trust that humble creature.
Before we do that, let's see. There we go. I knew there'd be some kind of chest. Only gold. So using R, you're able to switch between your melee weapons and your ranged weapons, in this case his pistols. Looks like we've leveled up to level 3. I must have missed the first level. Yevon von Helsing. So you're able to choose, we have 10 points we can distribute between body, dexterity, willpower, and luck. Luck will be able to find items, magic items, gold, as well as dodge and critical hits. Willpower is your mana points and spell power. Dexterity is your range damage, and body will be your melee damage and hit points, as well as defense. Put one in each, and then I usually focus on melee. Let's get a little luck in there. Oh my god. Reputation has increased. One thing this game has is these perks that once you get a certain amount of level, completing missions, killing bosses types, you'll unlock these conditions, and you can choose which ones you want. The Berserkers, extra damage while at max rage. So if you don't use rage, you get extra damage. Cooldown on her skills. Potions. Extra inventory page. I think that's usually the first thing I always learn. So if you check our inventory, we have a second page. Pretty basic stuff. Let's try the ranged weapons, see what they're like. Slow. So we can check our skills right now. I have 6 additional points. So this way we can level up all our skills, which will give us these additional bonuses and power-ups to each one. So this one gives us additional 50%. You can see it's added down here. If you have to use the key combinations, this one's Stunning Strike, this one's Heavy Strike. Let's do another point here to increase our weapon damage. Let's do a Lightning Strike. Parry. Let's do our special attacks. We have 2 different attacks, left click and right click now. Put another point in that. And we'll even those out, actually. Let's do 1 point in parry. So this way we dodge some more. So this is the melee side of the hunter. You also have the hunter side of the hunter, which is the ranged attacks. Special tricks, which are these skills down here, such as healing and your auras. These passive skills. Channeling your rage, blah blah, okay. See me, I'm using that lightning strike and it's going right through enemies. Oh. Those things are dangerous.
I'll disable the device and you can go. Be ready.
I'm always ready.
A storm is coming, Van Helsing. You may find that your work is far from done.
Head to the north.
Then is it ever?
Winter is coming.
Migadi's army has withdrawn. Somebody is calling them back. They are still a chaotic mess, but they will regroup. Somebody wants to see you fall.
Nothing.
Van Helsing, everyone wants to see us fall.
Alliance is what you need. This tormented body is no longer able to fight, but my powers allow me to discover secrets. I can be your master spy, and you can let me have retribution.
But if we're to be allies, at least tell me your name.
A name? Yes. I used to have one.
Looks like her hand is trying to grab his ass.
Killed a long time ago. This wretched ruin of a man standing here is merely called Prisoner 7.
He is the most impolite, mysterious stranger ever. And that whole doom and gloom attitude, can you believe it?
I don't know.
Okay, we finished the prologue and we leveled up again. That's min-max body. level up this lightning attack. Let me see if they still have it, the option that I was talking about earlier to auto-equip better items. Sure. Power-up combos, auto-drink potions. So a lot of different options here if you don't want to compare. So this will, you can see here the number 1 means it's ready to use on the next strike. So you don't have to worry about keep hitting these power-ups if you forget. There's no treasure chest after cleaning this place out? Of course there is. See there, it already auto-equipped the item. Went from this standard sword, a bastard sword, to this claymore. Extra luck, lightning damage, critical. Damn, it's a pretty good sword. I actually had a belt as well, magical belt, which is the blue items, poison resistance. Could have used that against those guys with their poison guns. So I think this is a good spot to call it. Thanks for watching the first play of Van Helsing, the Incredible Adventures of Van Helsing 2. It's out on Steam for $14.99 from Neocore Games. Definitely pick it up if you're looking to get your action RPG fix.
Someone saved me. For a change, I'm not the only mysterious stranger